Hello and welcome. It's so nice to have you both here at CIF 2021.
Thank you very much. It's an honor.
Okay, so I wish you a great presentation and please have fun at CIF.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much,
Okay,
Alexander.
bye-bye.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure for us to be here with you today, and I hope that you enjoyed your presentation. I really enjoyed the presentation from Professor Giuliano before us, and I think it's a great lead-in to how we are trying to get into Industry 5.0 and some of the things that we are already accomplishing in our journey that we would like to share with you today. Before we start with this presentation, what I would like just to tell you, we are going to use our time to talk about our product kind of in the middle of the presentation with a video. But having said that, let's get started with the presentation. Let's move to the first slide, please. My name is Bernardo Tiburcio. I am the Global Digital Innovation Leader for DuPont, and I am responsible of an internal organization that we created with the purpose of drive the digital transformation program for the company. We cover all of the manufacturing and supply chain areas, but we also cover marketing and sales, R&D, and all of the support functions for employee empowerment. And today with me, we also have Shyamal Desai, and he is the America's Technical Marketing Manager for the DuPont Cyrel Solutions. So hopefully you enjoy our presentation. So let's go to the first slide. I'm going to start telling you about our journey. This journey around digital transformation, we started in DuPont about 3.5, almost 4 years ago. And that was a very important time for the company because at that point, we were kind of redefining how this new DuPont organization was going to look like. And we knew about 3.5, 4 years ago that we needed to do a lot better on providing the information with the digital innovation to support all of the innovation goals of the company. We knew that we needed to get better insights out of data. We needed to provide the capability to do predictions based on advanced analytics, have more intelligence in all of our processes and manufacturing processes, and automation all over the place, not only in manufacturing, but in all of the areas of the company. And we knew that there is technology, and these advancements in technology could get us closer. So we were going to focus on digital technologies and emerging technologies, such as artificial intelligence and machine learning, a lot on big data and advanced analytics, Internet of Things and sensors, augmented reality, and more things that we're going to share with you today that we are working on. Let's go to the next one. So in order to tackle that challenge, to start with our digital transformation journey, we created an organization, and we call this organization called Spark Digital. That's a group of professionals that are mostly based in Wilmington, Delaware, with our headquarters are for our company. But we also have people in Asia Pacific and in Europe. We deliver, and our organization delivers value. We are very, very focused on value delivered. We either help the organization on increased productivity, on save money or reduce our cost, release capacity in our manufacturing sites, and so many others. And our focus areas, like the areas where we put most of our attention, because that's where we can get most of the value, is in supply chain and manufacturing. That's where most of our efforts are happening today. But we also cover marketing and sales, research and development, and employee empowerment. And we do that. We bring value in these areas through what we call our digital product offerings. We productize our solutions to make it easier for our businesses and our manufacturing sites to implement these capabilities. Today, we have a set and a catalog of about 8 certified digital products that we're implementing, but we are constantly adding more products to our catalog based on the demand and the needs that we see from our businesses and our sites. And the way we create these digital product offerings is based on these emerging technologies that I was telling you about. We do a lot of work with machine learning and using data, real-time data, to provide insights and to help automation and to really improve our productivity, our capacity, our reliability, and drive value for the organization. And again, the way we actually do all of that is with a global team of digital professionals. That's something also new that we start doing in the company. We're starting hiring and creating skills and capabilities that we didn't have before. We have a team now of data scientists, of data engineers, agile and Scrum masters and professionals in these new ways of developing capability. We have UI, UX experts, because human-centered design is so important for all the implementations that we do. So how do we actually go and how this journey happened? If we go to the next slide, let me tell you about what we call the continuous evolution of our Spark Digital strategy. To be able to deliver this capability and create all of these solutions for the business, we've been following this process, and we start like in this slide from the bottom, where basically when we connect with the businesses at the very beginning to really understand where the biggest pain points are, do this diagnostic to figure out like where are the biggest opportunities. Once we identify and aligning the opportunities that we have, the next thing that we do is create what we call proof of values. Maybe some of you heard about the term proof of concept. We decided not to call or do any proof of concepts because we wanted to take the next step and making sure that every project that we were driving, what the ultimate deliverable was going to be value for the business. Everything that we do since the beginning, we quantify the value that we're going to get. Like we turn it into a money value, either by improving cash flow or reducing cost or increasing sales. So everything is tied to value. Once we run these projects and we say, okay, this kind of solution really has the potential to drive value and bring value to the businesses, we take those solutions into the next step. We call those a lighthouse program. What we do at that point is then build all of the platform, the capability, the foundation to make sure that the solution that we are implementing can be leveraged, can be used by other businesses in the company. And once we create that lighthouse program and it's successful, now we can start expanding it to the rest of the company. And at that point, what we do is we package that solution and we call that a digital product offering that then we can easily repeat and re-implement in other sites, in other factories, in other businesses. And then once that product offering becomes mature, we take it to the next step, which is making it as an embedded self-service capability. So we make it part of the processes of the businesses. It's self-supported, they can run it, and that frees up our resources to continuously bring new technology, new capability to help us keep moving in this journey that we have towards Industry 5.0. So let's move to the next slide. This is where we are today. And again, we continue evolving, but our organization creates this catalog of product offerings that you see kind of in the middle of the slide. But we also, very importantly, we have these engagement offerings. That's very important. We continuously keep involving with our business partners, with people in the business, that the ones that are constantly talking to our customers and understand what the opportunities and the problems and the pain points are that we need to tackle. The way we do that is through engagement offerings where we connect with them and explain our capabilities, where we do arts of the possible so businesses understand what is this capability of these new emerging technologies and what that can do for you. And we even have capability to do design thinking sessions. So we can prioritize the biggest problems and then find the best solutions to tackle those. Once we get all of that input and that guidance from the businesses, then we create our digital products. And we have several. Like today, we are going to be sharing with you some of the ones that we've been applying to the flexography industry. But we have things like digital automation, which is really great, using a technology called robotic process automation that basically allows you to create these virtual bots that can execute manual, transactional, repetitive processes that maybe today a human is doing. And then that computer can actually do that work for them. And in a lot of cases, kind of connected to these human and computer working together, now there are capabilities, we call it human in the loop, where basically just enhance the capability of humans in all of the processes, while you still keep the intelligence that you need from humans, the creativity that you need from humans to be very effective on those processes. We have some other product capabilities like smart demand forecasting, where we are using machine learning to significantly increase the accuracy of our demand signals. We improve our accuracy, like mixed forecast accuracy for our demand forecast, in some cases by 35%, just by start using machine learning versus the previous methods that use more like statistical analysis and things like that. I will tell you today, and we'll give you real examples about how we are applying some of these other products in the flexography industry. And also, it's very important that as we are in this journey, it's not only about doing digital or doing all of these digital projects. We also are helping the organization to be more digital. And how we do that is we create a digital community of practice where we keep inviting members from all the organization globally to learn more about these capabilities, to get involved in projects that are increasing our digitalization in the company. We have a group of ambassadors. We call them Ambassadors Network, where we actually train them with all of the capabilities so they can apply all of that knowledge in the areas. And this year, we also launched our Digital Academy, where people can learn more about concepts like data science or robotic process automation and things like that. So let's go to the next slide, because I want now to start telling you like real examples, like try to make it real. How are we really advancing in this journey towards Industry 5.0? So one of the projects that we've been doing for the flexographic business, we call it intelligent predictive maintenance. And what we do, we have these machines that in the process, when they are processing all of our flexographic material, they have sensors where they are capturing information storage like tension or temperature of speeds and all of that information. We capture all of that information on a regular basis, very often from these machines, and then send that information into the cloud. Once it's in the cloud, it's consolidated, and then we run these machine learning algorithms that, based on historical data, can identify patterns that can let us know when a potential failure could happen. By doing so, it notifies the service department, and they can know before the customer start having any issues if something needs to be fixed or replaced, so we can be more proactive and serve our customers better. Another example I'm going to tell you about, if we go to the next slide, and this is a great example of Industry 5.0 and machines and people working together. We call this product the Mixed Reality Remote Expert Assistance. But as you can imagine, specifically with the COVID situation, we had a lot of challenges on how we serve our customers better, and even internally, how we can support our manufacturing processes when traveling was very complicated. A lot of people couldn't leave their cities, couldn't leave their countries, and so on. And then we started using this technology that uses a device called a HoloLens, which is a mixed reality device. It's something that you wear in your head. It has like a glass kind of thing where you can see through it. So basically, you are seeing your reality, but at the same time, this technology overimposes virtual reality on top of your reality. So, for example, if we're trying to help a customer to troubleshoot an issue, we can send this device to our customer. They will be wearing it, and you have the topmost expert in the company can give you like a step-by-step instructions. The person at the customer side wearing the HoloLens has both hands free, can hear real-time the instructions from the expert. The expert can actually draw things on top of the line of sight of the customer. They can say, okay, just draw an arrow or a circle pointing exactly where the problem needs to be resolved. They can attach pictures, so like give you an example of what you are looking for. And you also can see a video of the expert, like giving you the instructions right in front of you. This technology has been leveraged across many businesses, including our flexographic business, with great results. And the next example that I want to talk to you about, if we go to the next slide, and let's click one more time so it builds up with the rest of the information here, is how do we use artificial intelligence? Let's click it, there you go. How we are using artificial intelligence and machine learning to increase our release capacity, to improve our quality of our products. As you can imagine, when in any of our manufacturing processes, in the manufacturing line, we have a lot of sensors. And those sensors collect data that then we use with machine learning to be able to predict if we are going to have any kind of quality issues or yield issues, that we can respond to them faster. If we go to the next slide, I will explain you step by step how this solution works. We call this product intelligent process optimization. And what it does is, first of all, collect all of the information historically that is captured from those sensors, and then combine the process information data with the quality data that we capture in our systems. And when we get all of that information together and we map it and we clean it up, then we have a data scientist to create a model that can make predictions of the future, or can point us into what specific parameter might be an indicator of a quality issue or things like that. Once we create these models, then we create a UI UX developer creates a dashboard, a way for the operators in the manufacturing side to see this information, so they can in real time see how the parameters from the process are looking, and then a prediction from the model that can tell you where the quality might be based on that. So the model might know that if the temperature goes up in a particular place and the pressure goes down and the tension and the torque goes up and down, that might be an indicator of a quality problem. And that could be detected way before you actually get the final product, send it to the lab, and actually figure out that you had a problem. So you can react faster and improve the quality of your products pretty much in near to real time. So again, Shyamal is gonna share with you some of how we are actually applying this and the benefit that is bringing to the business. But these three areas are things that we are really getting a lot of value on, and I will now pass it to Shyamal to continue with the presentation. So Shyamal?
Yes, thank you very much, Bernardo. This was certainly very helpful. And can we move to the next slide, please? I'm Shyamal Desai. I'm the technical marketing manager for the Americas for the Cyrel business. I've met many of you in person. This time we are doing it virtual. Before we get into the presentation, as Bernardo mentioned, we will go over a video which will talk about our product. So could you please play the video? Thank you very much. And if you notice, the last thing that the video actually said was thriving together. And that is going to be the theme of my talk. How do we work together? How do we build sustainability into the product, into the innovation pipeline, so we can fully take advantage of Industry 5.0? So the next slide, please. It's all about working together. It's about man, machine, and the planet. One of the things that we wanted to talk about was how does Industry 5.0 really help with sustainability? There is a connection, and I'll talk about that connection. If we take a look on the right-hand side, we have the UN SDGs, or the Sustainable Development Goals. These are the fundamental tenets that we follow when we come to designing our products. And really, if you want to drive sustainability, it all starts with developing the right products with the focus on sustainability. It has to be designed right into the product itself. And then, as we utilize Industry 5.0 to drive the adoption of those products, you automatically come up with a solution that is good for the environment. So the objective over here is twofold. One is make sure that the innovation is focused with sustainability in mind. Sustainability has to be core to every product that you're making. And if then we are able to utilize tools like the one that Bernardo mentioned earlier, where it becomes more conducive for our customers, for our partners, all the way through the value chain to use those products, it will help bring great benefits to the environment. The next slide, please. So what are some examples of certain products where we are improving the overall sustainability position for the entire industry? So the first thing that we can talk about is the plate processing technology. We want to make sure that there is a cleaner, less resource-intensive process. More importantly, that doesn't use solvents. And water is a solvent, and it is also a very scarce resource. So certainly, there is a lot of environmental benefits by using a technology that doesn't use any solvents. Similarly, we want to make sure that our printing plate technology is designed in such a way that it allows customers to use recycled paper, to be able to bring the message of sustainability all the way into the packaging. You need to make sure that you are setting up products where customers have the flexibility to use more and more recycled paper in the products without making any compromises to the quality or to the productivity. We also have examples of proprietary screening technology, whereby you are able to print using less ink. So now on your package, you have much less ink, you are not sacrificing quality, you're improving costs. And by having less ink on the packaging, you have less ink that goes into landfills, or it goes when the package is thrown away. Similarly, there is corrugated plate technologies, where you are able to print on substrates where the liner board is very thin. So now cardboard boxes can be thinner. The overall footprint of waste is reduced. Now, a common theme that you see in all of this is, up to right now, the conversation has always been sustainability, but sustainability has always come at the cost of something else. For example, the argument has always been, well, it's more sustainable, but it's going to be more expensive. Or it's going to be more sustainable, but the quality isn't going to be very good. Where we have changed the dialogue is to move it to sustainability and the quality is going to be a lot better. Sustainability and the cost position is going to be much improved all the way through the value chain. Sustainability and your productivity goes up, your uptime goes up. You're able to use the equipment a lot longer, and you will not have such maintenance costs. And that is the fundamental position that DuPont has taken in its innovation, to make sure that by designing products that are sustainable and that benefit customers all through the value chain, it allows the adoption of these programs. And more importantly, by building tools like the ones that Bernardo just spoke about into these programs, into these processes, you now make it more conducive for customers to use them. it doesn't become a trade-off where something is more sustainable but more expensive. We want to take away all those trade-offs. We want to make sure that it is more efficient, more cost-friendly to use. So move on to the next slide, please, and I'll talk about exactly what a processor like this does. So if we take a look at a thermal processor that we have versus, say, for example, solvent processor, and you look at 5 years worth of runtime data, what sort of benefits do you see? Well, the first thing is, as I said earlier, there is no use of chemical solvent. So it's completely solvent-free. That is a huge benefit. And then we ran this LCA, it's life cycle assessment of the processors, and we came across some staggering numbers. So say, for example, we were not using the thermal processor. The amount of carbon that would have been released otherwise, you would need more than 825,000 trees grown over 10 years to be able to capture the carbon from the environment. The greenhouse gases, it would be equivalent to 125 million miles. So putting things like 125 million miles and some things that you and I understand easily, that is equivalent to 250 round trips from the Earth to the Moon and back. So Earth to the Moon and back 250 times. That's how much emissions we are able to reduce. Or it's going to power 6,000 houses for more than a year. So this is something that is very tangible, and you can see the positive impact that using the thermal technology has to the environment. So move on to the next slide, please. And how do we make it more conducive for people to use? And tying it into Industry 5.2, as Bernardo spoke about earlier. So let's look at the journeys in maintenance. Maintenance, there is a cycle, there is a journey that every organization takes. The stage one, which is pretty much at the basics, is corrective maintenance. And as an example, my processor is broken, let's go fix it. So a lot of downtime, a lot of hassle. Typically this happens when it is unpredicted. So always when you're busy, the processor breaks down and you've got to fix it. Stage two is predictive. So you have a lot of PM schedules, and for example, that say your motor is going to last for maybe 4 months. So in 3 months, 3.5 months, you can do a PM just to make sure everything is okay, and then you get running. The stage three, and this is what Bernardo spoke about, where the predictive maintenance is so important, is that the processor itself sends a message back to say, hey, something doesn't look right and something is going to fail. Make sure you take a look at it. And that is where Industry 5.2 helps in the maintenance. Our Flexo industry, particularly the processors, are largely in stage one, migrating to stage two. But through the help of 5.0, we want to move it into stage three, the predictive portion of it, please. The next slide, please. So what does this do? I mean, how does this help? So what you see on the left-hand side are some of the screenshots, and these are actual screenshots from the graphic that Bernardo showed earlier. This is what the neural net, the AI, the machine learning that's built into our smart systems is able to generate, to look at different trends and assess, okay, where exactly is everything happening? Are we on par with the typical failure rate of the components? What are the sensors saying? This is what's generating. And it results to our predictive maintenance. And where this is important is to the people using the processors. As you move from corrective to preventative to predictive maintenance, your downtime reduces, your maintenance costs, they go down, your uptime improves, and it makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot more profitable for people to use equipment that has Industry 5.2 built in. And that is the fundamental principle that DuPont is following. Make sure that we build products with sustainability in mind. Make sure that we put a lot of intelligence, like the systems that Bernardo spoke about, into those products so that it drives the adoption of it because it is easier to use. And by using a lot of it, you're automatically going to make a lot of positive changes to the environment. The next slide, please. Now, one of the other things that we spoke about earlier was this whole concept of augmented reality, where you have two realities overlapping each other. The photograph that you see on the bottom right is taken from within the HoloLens. So the unit that you wear, you can actually see that the image of the processor is in the background, but what's in the front with the blue circle are sort of instructions on how to use it. So you can see how the overlapping happens. This is, in fact, a reality, and it was very helpful during COVID. So the very fact that I am talking to you virtually, the fact that Bernardo is with you virtually, tells us that COVID has changed the industry in many, many ways. And no travel had been permitted. Right now, also, we are still under a lot of guidance and things like that. But more importantly, from our industry, the demand was up. The demand for printing products was greatly high. People were running, pretty much 24/7, and customers still need support. You still need to be able to help troubleshoot, help assist the industry. This tool, the HoloLens, has been very useful. We are able to support customers using that, and we are able to make sure that that connection is made so that people really do not lose a lot of time in getting a hold of someone in the travel and things like that. The other thing I wanted to mention is that this technology is just not for North America. We are looking to do a global expansion. So within the next year, we will be happy to serve our customers in Brazil and Latin America using this technology as well. Next slide, please. So in conclusion, we are in a partnership. Man, machine, and the planet, we have to work together. It's one thing for man and machine to work with each other, but unless it's done with a greater good, we need to have more guiding principles. It's all going to go for waste. We cannot sacrifice the planet. The resources are very scarce. And in working together, we are able to make sure that we are able to serve the greater good. And even from within our flexographic industry, we have to work together with all our partners. And as we move more into launching these new technologies, we welcome you, our partners, to work with us to help jointly evaluate these new technologies. So, everything that you've seen here is something that we are coming up with. The products have already been launched. The AI, the Industry 5.0 in the 2000 TD processors is something that we are building. As we build these products, we would love to work with you, our partners, to help us evaluate this as well. So together, we create real-world answers to help humanity thrive. Next slide, please. Obrigado. Thank you very much. It was an honor and a pleasure talking with all of you today. Thank you.
Hey, I want to congratulate you both for the nice presentation that we just had. And I have to be honest with you, I just love your last phrase when you said together we can create a real world answers that help humanity thrive. This is such a nice goal for all of us, right?
Absolutely, thank you.
And we do have one question here, are these mixed reality devices available here in Brazil or in South America?
So we did a pilot for this in North America in 2021. In 2022, absolutely, we will be introducing them in Brazil as well. So stay tuned. You will see them very, very soon.
Okay, that's so great. So thank you so much. And now we're going to follow with Steve. Bom,
thank you.
Mais uma vez, obrigado, senhor Bernardo, Shyamal. E antes de anunciar a próxima palestra, quero convidar todos para assistir a mensagem dos nossos patrocinadores.